Chudo Josu Chewu Ren Su Chedan Che Sa Che De Na Gomba De Bo Ne Ma Ne Je De De Na Cho Je Son Je De Ke Ba Che Na Sha Se Lo Na Da Ge Ma Cho Do So Sa Ma Ye Je Jan So Se Je Ne Bo Cha Taba Je De So Na Na Ye Wa Gombo Chuni Chala Shanse Lo Kenjo Denpa Chumi Dabi Sha Sendo Jawa Chala Shanse Lo Dere Chinra Sema Sama Chi Nyami Chinji Chala Shanse Lo Gombo Tuji Che Denpa Dangshi Chenpi Denpa Bo Yu de jiao zu shi, de xin xi lang xiang zi long, da bin de xiao zhe wo ju, ge yue ge song le zhu xin, ju du de da qiu jiu bo, xin ju zhe lang xiang zi long, zhe ni zhe yu lang yang de, la ba da la zhao du ni, Xie Ge Da Ba Yu De De Ge De La Yang Xiang Zi Lo Ju Bo Che Yang Me Jia Xin Ge Wa Bi Suan Zo Ba De Ni Sang Je Den Bo Yi Ga Ma Ra Re Ma Me Dong Ju Ma Si Wa Chu Bu Dong Na la lo da zhe da bu du xie che na de da da ze na de ye tang xie ze ba yi ka bo ta ne chen zhe zha de de da da na da che we la zhu we se we so le zha wa zhe wa yu.
Thus I have heard. At one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of Vulture Peak Mountain, with a great gathering of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the samadhi of the many aspects of phenomena called profound appearance. At the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, how should a son of the lineage train who wishes to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva answered the Venerable Shariputra these words. Shariputra, those men and women of the lineage who wish to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is none other than form. Form also is none other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, recognition, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are emptiness, and having no characteristics, they are unmoored and unceasing. They are not impure or pure, they neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no phenomena. There is no quality of sight, and so on, until no quality of mind and no quality of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no exhaustion of ignorance, and so on up to no old age and death, and no exhaustion of old age and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no ending, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide by means of the profound perfection of wisdom. And since their minds have no obscurations, they have no fear. Transcending falsity, they attain nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times have relied upon the perfection of wisdom, and have become true and complete Buddhas of unsurpassable, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the profound perfection of wisdom, the mantra of insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, for it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, noble of Avalokiteshvara, that you have spoken well. Well done, O son of the lineage, it is so. O son of the lineage, since it is just so, the profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced just as you are taught, and the Tathagatas will also rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra and noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, and the entire gathering, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised the words of the Blessed One.
Bo Je Tsongkapa Yang La Sha Tse Lo Kang Ge Lo Zhu Zhe Nye Zhe Zhe Nye Da Nan Ra Se Ve Jue Nye De Ge Che Che Se Je Nye Je To Ga Le Bon Se Kanda Se Be Se Ra Ma Re Me Ta Don Dozo Gela Buji Dazi Yela Zhuji Yang Song Zhuda Qi Zhu Ni Mo Ni Long Le Qi Jia Zhu Zhu Zi Qin Ma Ri Min Se Dong He Nyong Gu Ju Ni Jun Zi Ri Zhu Nang Le Ni Da Ji Sa Ji Da Zi Ye De Lu Zo Jia Se Tu Yue Gu Ju Da Ju Da Ju Ni Ji Ji Da Li Min Se Jia Be Yang La Be O Arabazana De O Arabazana De O Arabazana De Se De Chu Ju Chen Ra Ve Ze Ju Da Le De Mo Min Ba Ra Se Ne De Ju Xiong Lu Do Ba Ye Lo Zhu Bo Bian Na Do Lo So Ji Bu Ye Ju Xiu Ye Xiu Ye Me Ye Do Zhao Ye Ri Ye Ro Ye Ni Ye Xi Ni Ye De Ye Ji Ye Bo Ye De So Ye Ji Ye Xi Ye Do Ni Ye De Ye Bi Ye Wo Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Xi Ye Do Ye Ge Ye No Ye Do Ye Ge Ye
As usual, in the beginning of one's teaching, it's important to cultivate appropriate motivations. So to cultivate appropriate motivations, one need to visualize Buddha in front of oneself and surrounded by all the lineage gurus of the Lam Rim Chenmo, the Lam Rim lineage gurus.
rangi tako da rangi chanchi pama zibe ne sanje de da rangi ne donghe nya do nya shin bala ne rewa chi cha de cha shin ba so de mi ba che ne should be joy na.
So then being yourself in the presence of Buddhas and the lineage gurus of Lam Rim lineage gurus, and you are then imagine that you are also surrounded by all sentient beings who have a wish to overcome suffering and achieve happiness.
Da teno gi zo ro je ne rang ye ji ngo zhe ro ji je ne so ngo zhe chen ge de so so yin bi so de ji je wa yin na sen ba lo cho de shu qing ye che ge rang gi zhi ji be de ta ye bi san je se de be de da den se de ye me so sa na ma dong a che rang gi zhe ye ni sa chen de yi san je ro da dang a zo de sa yin de yi ku yu an de ne ba a re de ne ba de ne che ne mi ba che tu na ju sa che yo ro.
So here, when speaking about visualizing and being yourself in the presence of the object of refuge, in other words, the Buddhas and surrounding sublime beings, such as lineage gurus of the Lam Rim Chenmo, and so then you're being yourself in the presence of them and surrounded by all other sentient beings. When visualizing that sentient beings, you should at least have some kind of very strong feeling that you are not just disconnected, just visualizing those beings in your surrounding, but you imagine that they are also connected. You have a very strong relationship to all those sentient beings. And now imagine the sentient beings beginning from your own loved ones and your colleagues and your friends, and then people in this particular country, and then you can then intensify the beings. You can include more sentient beings. One is in the visualization of those sentient beings, and finally try your best to visualize entire sentient beings without exceptions in your surrounding, and imagining that all of them have a related to yourself, have a relation to yourself. Sorry.
대야 선제 타지 된다 제거세디 진세진이 매바 말에 소차 무슨 소체 도바치 된다라 주도요로 도바테 대화로.
So when speaking about working for the welfare of sentient beings, our purpose of engaging in the practice of Dharma is to benefit all other sentient beings. So here now, when speaking about benefiting other sentient beings, it is not that without having any reason that we were just. It's not just a religious belief. There is a strong or the valid reasoning behind our wish to working for the welfare of other sentient beings. Because if you look at the sentient beings, there is not a single sentient being who do not wish for happiness and a wish to overcome suffering. Down to the insects, even down to the insects who always in the move or in pursuit of achieve happiness and overcome suffering. So for that, to cultivate motivations as we instructed, let's take a moment to meditate on.
language pegoro ta language kare pege ba sa la so na ta jil jugoro shawachil.
So our purpose of cultivating a positive motivation is to fulfill our purpose. So how do we fulfill our purpose? In order to fulfill our purpose, we need to engage in the actions that enables us to fulfill our purpose. So therefore, we are now beginning to engaging in the actions or engaging in activities which enables us to fulfill our purposes.
So ye tije shinju scheme jerma do ro chu se na tanyen de je de ma do ne tanda nga so ye ne tan ka de jindu shiro ta di ne tan de ge ne ro sa chi yo sa re yo sa ma re se ne shinju je de ro.
So here the practicing of Dharma, that essentially we need to think of ourselves that how is our present situation at this point? Are you really happy with this present situation? If that is not, then is there any way out of this present situations? If there is, then how do we, what kind of skillful means which enables us to out of this problematic situations?
Tanga so ki shinju je na nga da nga ye se ji ro nga da nga chong se ji den de ge shu chen bo shu jin zen de chi chi ne ta ne ta kan re se ke che she go ro ta.
So now normally we have an innate sense of I. We do, all of us possess this innate sense of I within us, or innate sense of I and innate sense of mine or my. So this is at the root of our, consciousness.
Den de ge tanye ji che yun de ne nga sing ge ngi je sa ta le lu sen ni re ta da du bi ke che ki ma she yu she ta ro lu de sen sing ji on the lu de sen sing de ka re ji ji on de ro gu du ke che she yun de ne on de ro ye de la ran ye ba ji ta sa du me du se de ne ga tel tu ro.
So now when speaking about I, so we normally speak about I in relation to one's body and mind. So now let's think about, do we really gain a freedom of body, speech and mind? If that is not so, then in what manner that one can really achieve freedom of one's body, speech and mind?
다 든디기 내걸로 아니 소소 경건에지 제여 살에서는 딱 몇십이 걸세나리 든디지기 강에 티비걸라 아니 산적이 송세나리 아니 따지 제여서기 유질은 주로 로전제서 유질은 주인데 아니 nga 속에 남비존의 시비 계시나 또 산제 살런로서기 네 용지로.
So then when it comes to the analysis of how our body, speech and mind are not really liberated, and we have no liberty at all, even speaking about body, speech and mind. So now when you analyze carefully, is there any way that we can really free ourselves, our body, speech and mind? Can we really free? If we analyze carefully, then you will find a way that you'll find a way of engaging in certain actions or practice that enables us to free our body, speech, and mind. And so, therefore, when you come to this point, then in the Buddhist, according to the Buddha Dharma, and engaging in the practice of the Dharma or the studying of the Dharma is the key contribution for freeing ourselves, freeing our body, speech, and mind.
아니 산재기 제다 지바다다 랑게 냐네체 냐살레네 도바트나 질레 총네 아니 가서게네 처라 토마 네바데레샤 아니 최기 네바데인데 벤데 돈에 패게도 손샤기 주지 아니 가서게 답메세네 로저제네 미시비드 세고로 미시비 나사디.
So therefore, the skillful means and method that we are seeking is in accordance with the Buddha Dharma, the teachings given by the Buddha. And that the particular teaching the Buddha has given, in other words, the Dharma, is given by the Buddha through his own experiential knowledge, through his own realizations. And he shared his realization with us. If you do not long to overcome suffering, this is the method that you can free yourself from suffering. And if you long to achieve happiness, this is the skillful means or the method that you can achieve happiness. Just like a physician actually prescribes a medicine in accordance with your accordance to your sicknesses. In the same manner, Buddha actually prescribes us a medicine to suit our mental disposition.
당아서 단다기 챈데기 수본데기 단다라 메베죠 동아 마인바 메데 강사 스르지 때네 페야기 메지마도 가실래나 그카인데와 가서 메베마트는 마인바 아니 대인바데 아니 조베 산제네에서도 랑게 전체 사이라메 바데 아니 제양 찌지고는 손상에게 아니 가서 다 메종세나리 된지랑아서 진예제가 바바로 와서.
So the medicine that is prescribed by the Buddha can be used by all kind of beings without any side effect, in other words. It benefits anyone who would like to use that medicine. So therefore, right from the beginning of the Buddha himself up until our own root gurus have taken the medicine that is prescribed by the Buddha and overcome all the sufferings and gain the state of liberation or enlightenment.
당아서 사치 원의 지자잖아. 다 던리게 매바 개바치기 손체. 아니 손셔야 돼요. 다니게 라바나게 산제내에서 다랑게 주제 자일람 받은 레야 지지제는 만화 손상에 주제. 사제 동번이 되잖아.
So this actually covers the the four outlines of the Lam Rim Chenmo, just as the beginning from the teaching that is given by the Buddha, unmistaken teachings, which is suited for all sentient beings, beginning from the Buddha himself up until the root gurus, our root gurus.
대야 드리지 좀 듣지 다 쓰면서 세대에 도고 세워 된다 많이 봐. 네 로드 나와다 베베 제원에 제와 새로 되는 강전의 도바라질에 제공의 진산에 인지 레하모진 주바 많이 봐. 미 첨부지 않는 주고.
So this is something not aiming towards our temporary satisfactions, practicing of the Dharma. It is to think about the long-term benefits of one's future life and life after life, because practice of the Dharma must be taken, must be undertaken, from life after life. It is that through this way we will then be able to, gain the realizations life after life.
다 곧대와시나 상추이 센rum보체다 아니 돈유도비 따와랑질에 집이 된다. 로하다.
So if we lucidly explain the purpose of engaging in the practice of the Dharma is to achieve Bodhichitta and wisdom realizing emptiness.
되지. 당한 사지 제반로 된다. 아니 담방은 저러마 제대로 이름발라. 이제 란지 사와시니 데비스는 때는로 제대로 이름만이 다 동물이서. 다 때는로 제대로 이름만이 대의되는 님벌님 비시 그와다 님벌 제단님 비스니 다 동물이서. 다 님벌 제단님 비스되는 아니 란지 나자랑 해봐줘다 님벌님 생어지 동물이서. 다 진보 렌치 거들 손지 주부 총연의 동원 라제르마 냐스 렌치 주부 제다 동원 라 주부 챔비니 라제르마 냐스 렌치 다 동번이 리사 다 주부 챔비 라제르마 냐스 렌치라 손지 대체나 주벽고 세제 코나된바 세대 제다 집에 세제는 셔발할 호세제 다 동번리사 다 세대 제다 집에 세대라야 손리 저 강라되네 저와 세장비림바 아니 집에 세 조가좀 세제 당가서 이바에 세장비림 받다 네 세장비림 받다라 양니리 낮에 여주고는 샤주 세제다 마시 제대고는 샤주 세제지 다 낮에 마시 제대고는 샤주 세제들라 니리 림방에 받자와다 린체대 장원 거지 다 린체 장원 거들라니 다 제대되니 로장와다 라되니 로장와 대인제는 가서 제대되니 샤주 센라 림방에 되지 샤주 센 야제도 집이 니 제대되니 로장비림 받들라 되요래살라다.
So we were on the stages of the path of person of great capacities, which is receiving the teachings of the Mahayana Dharma. So therefore, we're on the particular chapter of receiving the teachings on how to cultivate bodhicitta and how to cultivate bodhicitta, and that we have gone through this explanation during our previous teachings. The bodhicitta consists of two aspirations: aspiration to gain state of enlightenment, and aspiration to working for the welfare of other sentient beings. And bodhicitta consists of these two aspirations.
당가 좀 제대명가 된게노 동보송보데 줄에 타마니보데 가서 동보송보데 니지 첨보데 영원이게 줄에선 라이바 아니 영원이게 샴비제들라 마시 텐제 전조송보데 그것도 로고레세 디게제데 셰도라다.
So we were on the trainings of the bodhicitta, or the practice, the explanation of the explanation of the bodhicitta. So the bodhicitta that there are two different editions of these teachings. One is exchanging self with others, equalizing and exchanging self with others. Another one is the sevenfold cause and effect. So we are on the particular chapter of receiving the teachings of the sevenfold cause and effect trainings of the bodhicitta. And out of the sevenfold, so the first three practices of first three stages are said to be the cause of compassion, great compassion and resolute intention.
The Jitsakarasana Banner Zambali Senari, Takanje, Jitenji Kandelo, Socha Kandichi and the social and Joa Mengichi, Mebachi Tachi Aletombo.
So first now here, the first and foremost important for us to begin to practice this bodhicitta is to make sure that you have a genuine feeling of all sentient beings who are sentient beings are related to oneself without exceptions, and this is the genuine feeling that you have to have in order to begin oneself from engaging in such a practice. Not only that you are related to this entire sentient beings down to the insects, but also you have a very close relationship with them as children and parents.
파마 비지기 대화에는 된지지 가는 대화에서 강에데 냥타바 쉬우드나 하도야나 따텔은 대화메바 대화에나다 오늘 전에 말하던 게 말을 적으러 왔다.
So since we are considering all sentient beings who are closely related to oneself as a relationship between parents and children, then if the parent is undergoing sufferings, who is in a problematic situations, if we do not, help or give your assistance to one's parents, then suddenly It's not a right, isn't it?
Tati katu tanda nga zo dendo ro ma sheba te ene tenba ta tele kane je go se ti tata de 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 de.
So we're on that on this particular chapter right now. It's at page 40, all the way down. How can you repay their help? So this is why we're
tata re do
long down.
de tange de lo da ko de shu du wana sa pele sheba de che ta ba shi she nya na se ti ye da do do te te yo da da ko se enji to do do ya na.
So Shimchi said that now here in this Lam Rim text, it's very clear and lucid. So it's not complicated at all. Where it says now, how can you repay their help?
Yeah, that country chegre se wa ina da country pento chegre san der mar range chang khoi de denjo che zang shi to de da tang chi ma lo wa me chi de da tang chi ma lo wa me chi.
So here it says, no matter how much wealth and happiness your mothers obtain in cyclic existence, it all deceives them.
Tanga so te shegoro je nga so te jiten ro don ro da phami chen je go se de phamal to lo nyo de xiao chi xue ro da da kan je phami khale ne de se de yi de chi chi la shegoro de de chi ama khono la ta da pa le de tho ma so seng yi de chi jin me ba che de 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 chi te ge ma lo wa che yo ma ta da pa le.
So in a mundane way of repaying the kindness of our parents, or and repaying their help, in other words, is to give them a shelter, fooding or clothing and so forth. And in other words, just helping them to fulfill their purposes of this lifetime alone. This is the ordinary way of repaying, our way of repaying, in other words, or the mundane way of repaying their help. So regardless of how much assistance or the help or the auxiliary that you may provide to those our mother beings in a mundane way, so all of them, those will deceive them. In other words, it's actually deceive them.
Tanga so te be de che de yu shu se go ma ro che de shang chong de je bi to ne ni den de de wa du to de che go so ro ta shang chong che de shang chong de ji ja to ne.
So what the Lam Rim actually is, emphasizes here is to now repaying the kindness of the mother sentient beings, or the repaying their help, not mere helping them to fulfill their the present wish, or to fulfill the purpose of their present life. But based on cultivation of compassion and love towards them, you should think of establishing them in lasting happiness, everlasting happiness, in other words.
Mal sashi si jo pa chawa su bin ji je de ba dan jawa sa rang ji je dong he jo ba nang la la ya dong he ta zo je ba dan sa shang be pen ta ba de na ne ta ba nyang ye len de bi de wa leng go ba sha wo nyang de pen da ba sha go de o ma nyen bo le so sha.
So here it says, reading through the text here, thus you must repay their you must thus you must, what's that? Where am I?
Their help, yes.
Repay their help, yes. You must repay their, I'm just going back and forth. Repay their help. Thinking formerly, my mothers were seriously wounded because the madness of the afflictions possessed them. Then I produce a variety of further suffering for these beings who were already suffering, as if I had applied sea salt to their deep wounds. Now I will establish these beings who lovingly help me in the happiness of the liberation, nirvana, So Baba Viveka's Heart of the Middle Way or the Madhyamaka Hydra states.
데 ngone tone chen ngoye ne chiri jiro ta nga chu mo cha de ta phama ye tene je se de phame ji ji nyomo de so pheje gi zelan ro ma do phama de thaba da ta chi chimen ro ji gi zelan ro ate pheje nimi kama de jiro ta nga chu da
So most of our way of repaying the help of our mother sentient beings or repaying their
ta so su kama la ga jela ro
repaying their kindness. Think about our own present parents, in other words. Our way of repaying their kindness is mostly to, to become a causes for development of, reflections. There's none of our, help or our assistance really become a cause for liberations.
당가 좀 마침부 지제상 되는 차시나 마데 자기 터실라 마 하버드 차에 지어로 되는 이제 거의 동에 랑신신 용제 마 인발로 연주 동에 타소 제제기 줄로 그래서
So therefore it's here the text it mentioned that it says that someone who is already wounded and then you're applying sea salt on the deep wound. So there's no way that we can cure that wound if you apply the sea salt onto it, because the mother sentient beings are actually undergoing suffering in this cyclic existence, predominated by their afflictions. But we contribute for them to, further flourishment or the increasement of their negative thoughts and emotions.
당가 속에 란해 가르도 그러잖아. 세디 파마 쯔비기 내다 대설라 세디 전에 가서 진짜나요. 파마라 펜토 용바지 매바지 셰베토네 수수 센터제네. 당에 땐도 대화지 마주나 터무도 델레젠도 로사멘도세 타제네 내가 배에 들어와. 계절대 송어.
Now we have to take an initiative of ourselves. Now this temporary help or repaying their help or repaying their kindness is something that is not appropriate at all. By recognizing that, one should then take an initiative of, engaging in certain actions that brings about helping our mother sentient beings, and providing a causes and conditions that enables them to liberate them from cyclic existence or suffering of nature of cyclic existence.
배나 고대보시나 이게 암 파만데 레녀지 장원이 타바데 저거도 따때 간제 제거이나 땅 아로랑 게 제거 대제발 아로랑 니바지 매바다 더 민두세네 센터제네 랭거비에 들어와.
So this is how we take an initiative as a Mahayana practitioner here. So I must do something to free my mother sentient beings from sufferings. In other words, the cause of sufferings, which is karma and delusions. So therefore, in order to free themselves from suffering of cyclic existence, a cause of suffering such as karma and delusions, I must gain certain realizations which enables them to free from cyclic existence and free from those causes and conditions of sufferings.
되지마도 가름 먹고 가름 펜토 루샤날 하여 뭐 자식이 저어를 지내지나요. 아말 펜토에면도 연주 고래져야래샤 서로. 다 되네. 오늘 땐데 대화터야지 마죠. 나도 영어미도 다땡에 자고도 세네. 아니 다들이 손바나 힌테 로라 영화테지도 강적으로.
So here, without engaging in such actions of freeing our mother sentient beings from the causes and condition of suffering, then other assistance or help or repaying their help of temporary assistance, offering the assistance is not really beneficial to them, so far as gaining the complete liberation is concerned. Even if you have taken a rebirth in a Deva realms as a Ishvara and so forth, you will not be able to provide the causes and conditions of liberation of mother sentient beings.
Ta lo da. O ma ni bole che. Je yang ko chi nyomo bi denje lamba da ge ne. Ma le ji de ba je dong ne ba kan she ma kan du she. Je wa je da kan da ge shang de ni ko pen ba she. De la le de pen da ba nyang de be jen ju ye je so do.
So now here, the Baba Viveka's heart of the middle way, Madhyamaka Hadiya states. Furthermore, like applying a salt to the wound of those who have been possessed by the madness of their afflictions. I created suffering for those sick with suffering. Now, what else is there other than nirvana to repay their help, to repay the help of those who in other lives help me with love and service.
당가 소 고대 보시나 당가 소 소차 무슨 세제 여랑이 파마집에 된라 랑이 된다라 소 자타 뭐 쇼창이게 상바데 니 것들이 제나가 상정 제여나 대기 펜레데 가르치고 그래서라나 아니 냥엘레 데발리제 가르여레스 로 타발 꾸여마도 제 개개여 말소.
Therefore it says like, now what else is there other than nirvana? To repay their kindness. Just think about all sentient beings who have there's not a single sentient being who has not been one's own mother in the past. So therefore they have help us with love and caring. So now what kind of how do we really repay their help? There's no other help which actually surpasses establishing them in the state of nirvana.
janso riro tang jebi ole de tsuje yin sama janso riro de jebi kole sheba mezewa kuchewa tang sheba zowa ne kebe nga bi ne son des lui jabo nga di tsije le son do.
So then here it says, it is said that the kindness an unrepaid weigh more than the heavy burden of the ocean together with the Mount Meru, and that repaying others' kindness occasion that praises to the of the learned. The verses from the Naga Kings.
다 되게 된다 가르잖아. 배는 가서 유리 제보 저러지 개발 거고 나도 그투에 커보지 말아와. 배디 상일에 대바지로. 대래 아니 제대셔바데 가 챌린지바데 쿠체와이는 게렌체와이를 손.
So here now think about we cannot imagine how to carry this Mount Meru or to actually even to measure this Mount Meru. If we were to compare the kindness of our mother sentient beings with the Mount Meru, the kindness of our mother sentient beings who provided us is greater than Mount Meru.
같은 지대는 시에나요 되게도 파마기 셔셔야고 쉬위시걸 세디데 떠라 당으로 지대는 야락이 떠라로 대 추쇼께 잡으시거나 유쇼.
So not only in the religious point of view, but even in our mundane point of view, someone who is really who is being so caring and loving person to their parents is actually praised by everyone, isn't it?
시파조와 생이듯이 전체 파마 말에 쓰는지 이파조 편도나 얘들 편도 제도하는 가라 편도 첨부 인세데 그 야르기 계단도 돈이지로 안돼 손도 시파조와는 캐뱅합이 내송돼 세데 전에 간지지나요 고초도.
So repaying the kindness of one's mother and one's parents It's not, again, we talked about earlier, that it's not something that is in a religious matter. It is actually moral duty of the children to repay their kindness to their parents.
다 대체 로인다 지제래지 가서 리저bunga 지제래지 장소단의 저당지 산난다게 금미지 셰범무즈 간이버 되네 다게 그전이 내가 세네 메게진 셰바자와 셰바초 셰바 추즈 메셰바 대다 케베랍당가 제스 마셰소소.
So then the text it says Nagaraja Berhigata says, the ocean, Mount Meru, and earth are not the burden to me, whereas not repaying others' kindness is a great burden to me. The learned praise persons whose minds are not excited, and who recognize the repay others' deeds, and who do not wish others' kindness.
당가서 간르치 가서 뭐쳐도 너희 로샤그로 단다발은 가서기 깨지 따된세는 만데네 시사사나 메토르마도 소소 사야통에 대해 간가데 선제 현재 전에 되는 중앙으로 가서때 소소 인샤샤마도 너희 진로네 send good over say
we are normally we are remaining so careless about how kind other sentient beings are. We really are not really aware of how kind they are, other sentient beings. If we think about whatever we do, whatever things that we may have obtained in our life, we have obtained and we become who we are, all dependent upon other beings.
셰바초와 같이 얘기 전지 소소를 전이 제시하는 전대 초와 제고로 남에서 마동하지 초하고로 선발.
One should be aware of their kindness always. We should not really be careless of the kindness of other beings.
미기 깔레 제시하이데 촐라 동지요 말와서 셰바치르스 동마세.
So it's just like that when one should not waste the kindness of others.
더 뒤서 나오죠다 캐바 영에도서 영원에 전에 하시 되는 매쟁에 된 하주의 유래성으로.
Therefore, this someone who is engaging in such an act is praised by the intelligent ones.
캐뱅 합이 유래세디 진짜다 댐비 임바마도 캐베 캘랭가 말이로. 캐바시디 대가스 계셔 말에 지피 내제 동선 내제여나 캐비 샤왈 주고 말에.
So therefore, it's the learned praise person, whose mind are not excited. What it says, that means the learned or the someone who is intelligent. When they praise, they will not praise without any reasonings. There will always be a valid reasoning behind their praise.
캐비 잡된라 세마마도 쇼노다 나다 코스 계셔요 말에. 세마 코로나가 잡된.
The learned ones always say and do something which is supported by the valid reasonings.
되지. 야, 또. 네, 공부 쉬고 나와서 자슈도. 자슈. 야, 됐어 자슈도.
So let's take a break here.
소지 베제 조지 메도 정지 로린 제데 제보데 상제 신도 메데 베와예 로게노노 신로 주보쇼 예동 구루라 메데라가 나야 나야 메지 아야 당하니까 알았어. 네, 다행이다. 도디나 세대로다. 다 도디나 다 된디. 그러. 대체 다행이나 주부 담바 턱해봐도 정치모도 지체요대로. 지 주세를 봐 취시하나요? 소소 밑에 돼 있어 이제 매미 샤니가 인전에 된디를 줄라 농적을 쏜 거죠.
So most of the time, when you look at those teachings, such as Lam Rim and so forth, if you read through the Lam Rim, and you will see the extensive explanation of certain one chapter, and this will then be followed by the summarization or the summarized part of that extensive, explanations. So something that is very unique to those, particularly the commentaries of the Dharma.
다 추수 되니들 영에들 로로들 예소나 다 간제 사지를 산나도 시제들 장셔에 시제들 사인서 송스발로记录的下面下去แต่카르로데서 산나데서 또 인지미지 강전에 법미선의 지 라바냐자제 데마도나 야로아 데데스 카지자 시제되게 된다 산나치 땅 사인서말로 로토도 산나치 땅더 코바차지자로라.
So it is good, if you can read those the stanzas. Sometimes you will find verses from certain, treaties of the Dignas and Nagarjunas and so forth. You find this, stanzas in the Lam Rim Chenmo, and not just, reading those stanzas and leaving aside, but try to read again and again, and then think about the meaning of the stanzas. And this will really, really, help us to, for our practice.
라바도 저기나 대신 쇼여나 저 저 지마요거나 쇼근인스만 로고야나 소소게 사라지 말로 디 된다 된데 인사레스 계속 마고는 당가서 내일 해야 되는 저기 지저디 텔레세어 거라 근데 요저 판도디 소소게 쇼쇼지 말로 사제데 쇼쇼지 마서 아니 냥ഞ്ഞ지 제사나 다 랑ren 조가지 제강도 차로라.
So it is also good that if you are really interested in receiving the teachings of the Lam Rim and practicing the Lam Rim, before, if you have time, before coming to the class, if you can read through the chapter that is being, that this will be teaching later by the teacher, it will also be very helpful. Not only just reading through it, but also try to understand the meaning of it. And then after finishing receiving the teachings from the teacher, again, when you go back to home, and then also again think about it, of all those meanings by reading through the particular chapter that you have actually received, the teachings of the particular chapter that you have received today. And, so this is how we normally, traditionally, the Lam Rim practice, teachings and practices done.
드르잖아 가르페도여서 손으로와 디 상추지 센스의 시유디 변으로와 메제 사제들 소소 로뉴나 사제들 메다와데다 사제들 용수조바 놓아코여지야 되나기 상추기 센스 로유디 구유 중심들의 진세는 된지로데 세고 수지 차통에 차그래.
So just by repeating, reciting those verses will also help us to, plant imprints, the positive imprints within our mind stream. So just by repeatedly reading through and contemplating and understanding the meaning will really enables us to prepare ourselves that as soon as you hear about the Bodhichitta, that you are able to know what is meant by Bodhichitta, what is Bodhichitta, and so forth. Just like if you have gone to a certain place and you know the detail about that particular area and that particular place, and even if you are not in that particular place and you are somewhere else, and you are hearing about that particular place and you know how this place is.
난 로마녀는 자칫장지를 대 의비네스를 인빙해 봐야 말이야. 로녀는 된지 차그래. 된지 차디 이 의비네스랑을 차용을.
So then it is just like if you have been to that place, then even if you are not this particular place, you are somewhere else, but as soon as you hear about the place, that you will have a vivid, generic image of that particular place. In the same manner, if you are able to contemplate yourself on the Bodhichitta time and again, then at the moment that you speak about the bodhicitta, you hear about the bodhicitta, you're able to have at least generic image of what is meant by bodhicitta.
다 된디된 도디세데 모셔기 미테리로 그로 소소란에 투투에게 지때 영에서에 된다.
So this is how we prepare ourselves, to really to familiarize ourselves with the practice such as bodhicitta and so forth.
야, 다 도디나 아미 네다 가르레다 세나 데레다. 도디나서 랑기 마스 젬바네도 메네바 뇨시 밀롱아 롱티메바 시 공바레레네 다차시 양카 지스롱알라 ngomba shonen dronasa.
So here now the text states, in brief, your mother is crazed and unable to remain composed. She is blind, has no guide, and stumbles with her every step as she approaches a frightful precipice.
Mate chang pala merena salare. Pete mate jipa tele majoa mabona salapa tele jogo sondo tere.
So here it says then, if she cannot place hope in her child, in whom can she place hope? If our child does not take responsibility for freeing her from this terror, then who should take responsibility?
당가 저기 계시는 게 아마 들리지는 미 가르에서는 집에 컨지전이 가로. 정이 아마 전반은 타다이 미로 안에 미 롱치게지는 미 그런 흘려지는 집어진 데에서 라고로 가서 계시나?
So if we say this to someone else and someone else that our mother who is stumbles with every step as they approach a frightful precipice, and the people may not be happy with that because my mother is not that at all. She's in sound health mentally and physically. Why are you issuing such a statement in with regard to my mother? So now it is just in this particular text it says the mother sentient beings. It is not that we are pinpointing one particular mother sentient being. We're talking about entire sentient being, including oneself. We ourselves. We are all same, and stumbles with the very step as we approach a frightful a precipice.
다리도 뭐도는 대용도 대전도 설때 로인다 거체 대전도서 마치비 선전나장 뇨모비 된지 선전나 네바 말에 세네도 네바 주변나 싫어지 오마터 배 뇨스 데 러신론 다저 카사.
So here now it says our child must set her free, isn't it? Likewise, the mother's the madness of the afflictions disturbs the peace of mind of the loving beings, your mothers.
This
That's your so thus they are crazed because they have no control of their mind.
되지. 따때로 nga 저기 단다 젬바네도 메네바도 좀 가리 좀 버리세서나 가르사 녀모이 되게 주네. 아니 삼바 타다요 말이서야 들어.
Why we say that thus they are crazed and because they have no control over their mind. Why the mother beings have no control of their mind is because our mind is controlled by afflictions or the delusions or the afflictions. The afflictions is the one that controls our mind.
ngotho tangele lantai mine jeje roate lonse tereta.
So then therefore it says they lack eyes to see the path of high status rebirth as a human or deity.
ngoto tarakasa ngoto da ngele thong ge lang da so chima chi thong me do ro mail zug zu ge bi ke me do donyo to be ta donyo to be lo de thong me nge ju ge lo thong me do sha chu san thong me do yi che me do.
So it is really true that we are really lacking the eyes to see the path to higher status of particularly of the liberations, because we are lacking eyes of cultivating bodhicitta and wisdom realizing emptiness. Thus we are unable to see the path that really leads us to the state of liberation.
Tanga su pete nguti je senare tanguti je ne chitrin le tandre ke shema ga ta kanje le kana je londo ma no ache nga so yi che ne ma do so so denye ba je thong me do ro.
So therefore now when we think about karma, so we are completely blinded by our ignorance, which prevents us from seeing the karma in detail, and in other words, karma precisely. Our, appreciation to karma and law of cause and effect is based on faith alone. So we are not being able to actually precisely understand or that precisely seize the law of cause and effect.
Ta de ngele je ta je lo nge ju sha sa ya da be ta so ne de le chang ro mi da che thong me do.
And then we are completely, lacking the eyes of seeing renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom realizing emptiness.
Ta dinri yin chong ba de senje re shin da ro rangi chedi ama yin re chedi pinja yin re chedi ba ma yin re chedi ma ga sa yin na de de la sa na to na ku ne chi de ku de ne je ba je so na de le yo yo ma re ro de le shin ge tu ye chi me do.
So think about, just as we ourselves is lacking those eyes of renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom realizing emptiness, in the same manner, all mother sentient beings who are your surrounding, that we have visualized earlier, they are all in the same situation as you are, which is lacking the eyes of seeing renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom realizing emptiness.
Chi bas chen sen zo de ngo so ge lo le shu cha ma ma da de ro so so de de le ji ba mi ba che ne ku ne da ka re do ra ye ne da ka re do se zu gu pa zu zu je na di gi cha ri de ge do mu do da da.
So think about, if when speaking about sentient beings, again, it becomes so vast and, it is too extensive. So you may not be able to contemplate much on that particular, the sentient beings, because it is, innumerous. The number is so great. So now just try to think about, as a practitioner, this is how we learn. You think about someone who's close to yourself, imagining that particular person is being in front of you, and imagine, is this person really, has the eyes of seeing the qualities of renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom, realizing emptiness, and so forth. If you think carefully, analyze carefully, this person is also belongs to the same area where you are.
Ta lo ida ta ja da ya ta bi xi ji long chi ne me te ta je khau che sa ro nge lo sha ya ta bi xi bi long chi ne me je ke ji re re je de ne xue je in jue be ne dao cha je je ko wa da che ba de nge ri yang ka je ba to na ne ma te pe la je go la pe te ya de ba bo be te ta sa na ko wa le nge ba de bi je zo wa sha de lo du le so de.
So then here it says, deity, yet they lack eyes to see the path to the high status, rebirth as a human or deity, and sudden goodness, liberation or omniscience. They have no true teacher who is a guide for the blind. They stumble because their wandering cripples them at each moment. When these mothers see the edge of the precipice of the cyclic existence in general, and the miserable realm in particular, they naturally take hope in their children, and the children have a responsibility to get their mothers out of these situations. Therefore, with this in mind, repay your mother's kindness by definitely causing them to emerge from cyclic existence.
Penarwa, Penangaso, Ngaso Yangachi, Sushotela, Ngasochi, Bugu Kahichi, Tuachi, Nawachiboch, and Samus and Deduache. So Sigi Ama de Penima Ratone, Sambatana Manity, Kitchiniban Shonsona Yansala Sadoguena, Pashu Bugu to Samus and Deduna, Sona Kandachi.
So just think about yourself being on the one side and your mother being on the other side, who is on the edge of the precipice. And at the next moment, and one step forward will cost her life. If you see such situations, what will you do? You're on this side and that mother's on the other side, who's on the edge of the cliff. She's about to fall off the cliff. So what will you do?
That you Puguso, the Pugichita, Amati Pugina, Puguso, Amati Chasa, the Sudogore, Saloina, Amati Puguna de Dogoroa.
So now, since we ourselves, you think about the three children who's playing on the other side, and the mother who is on the other side, being on the edge of the precipice, the frightful precipice, is able to fall off the precipice, and the responsibility to save the mother is out of those three children, and the child who is the son of the mother has the responsibility to actually save her mother, isn't it?
That the drinking on city son Shanchu Senchi said or Senjing on city Nichi Sangurota.
So this is how we think about other sentient beings. This is how we think and how we really, begin to practice bodhicitta, of looking at all mother sentient beings who is being on the edge of the precipice of cyclic existence, in other words.
The way Nesiki sent Tabata Tanji Chimbi, Nelu Tome ye, Nelu Chimachi ye Tonga ye, Tayundi, Nubi Nesi Handera. Tanga so you become Kotonas game duro, Jibo Yimi Dumbo Yemison, Chara Ymisor.
So this is, in reality, this is the fact of the situation of all other beings, including ourselves. We all are, stumbling with every step as we approaches to the frightful precipice. We're always being on the edge of the cliff, in other words, hanging cliff.
Lodile, Numoju, Timu Donche, Yansa Mayu Lantene, Combare Dauchawa, Data Jenta Yangi, Doana, Donget Sang, Donget Sonche, She Sumba Tatena, Jela Chun, Zewa Merishin, Yunten Taretona, Watsawa, Zonshi, Son Menjang, Deyan, Yantabi, Tsu Jatu Rongo, Sondo.
Then here it says the Shantideva's compendium of trainings, Shiksha Samucha states, the crazed by the afflictions, blinded by ignorance, stumbling with each step on the path with many a precipice, and you and others are always subject to sorrow all beings have similar sufferings, right? Although it is said that it is improper to look for others' fault, and that it is wonderful to notice even a single virtue, but here it is appropriate to consider how others are helpless.
So compare dacha asete rashu chemuzedi to combat zasatel mapone yazimazi chende tela tapchas ro sigro.
So when someone who is unable to, take a proper step and stumbling their each steps, then and that is the person who needs a help from others, isn't it?
Tendu chena karen dogo sesona nelugi langal dogo na daga chago ro nelu ngubi nesi langal zuchen chenge na razi doa jimato tantan ro tugo ya marda.
So why we are stumbling our every step is we are stumbling our every step because we are not stepping in accordance with reality, in accordance with reality. It is because we are lack of understanding the reality, and since we lack the understanding of reality, then our every step becomes a stumble.
When chena ngaso pe kode bo shena ro pena nga sonda khoson se de yawa she de ya yu ma yu do do ra ngubi netsi ne nga khoson me de langa khature do ro sin chadang ye yawa she ji re mo do gang le chasa ge sen je rani le jo yin ji be je re do.
So normally the way we look at other sentient beings, we have a way of looking at other sentient beings. Either we have with attachment or the aversion, or by ignoring it. But if you really think about how we related to that individual, those sentient beings, and we should not have those kind of diverse feeling or consideration with regard to all other sentient beings.
저런 인가다 가서 세대 대바이면 오더도나 세대 뒤서 통도지 세대 쳐바시면 질러로 시제전에 쓰더로 대단 나다 가서 쇼생지 여러다.
So our way of considering someone who is being one's own close ones and one's loved one is mere narrowly focusing on our present lifetime alone. We're not thinking about the numerous life that we have taken in the past.
대링하다 가 소리 상니 말에 카세 말에 살라나 나 가서 제대 대바진 말어 로 대링가 송은에레스 근데 가정이 때 말에 에네 가르사 상니 때 말에라나 노트 소스 쇼도.
So therefore, think about how we think about what we consider or we think about other sentient beings normally, right? Either we consider someone being close to oneself and we look at that person as one's loved one, and our way of relating ourselves with that particular person is motivated by attachment, and motivated by attachment, and ours motivated by negative thoughts and emotions.
다시다 봐서 가서 그 셰메셰는 거 비내지만 도레마도 단단가 손디노게 메테로아 저랑이 가디기 아마리 가디기 마가서 가디기 가사서 여와지 생에서나 배드 겸허셔 쉬우지로.
So at this point among us who are in this particular room that we share, at this point we do not know how we are related to each other. We do not have an innate feeling of our relation to each other, isn't it? Because of lack of our intelligence, in other words, because of lack of our how do you call it, clairvoyance, in other words. So you are unable to know. But then if you think very carefully in accordance with the reality, then we are all related to each other in many different ways. Sometimes if you think in carefully, then it's sometimes it makes us again confused as well. who has been one's father, who has been one's mother, who has been one's enemy, who somebody had been one's loved ones and one's friend in a certain lifetime or past lifetimes. And so we have a many different relationship among us.
다 도와 도 이치는 것들 되게 저거 단데사 다 데트르서 다데 거치리 스제데 다 영원시들 따서는 죄마도 돼 예대진 용시에서 말았다 근데 지로와 베티진 용바잉에 아니 로와잉에 가서 참여하는 게 매진에서나 콜레 죄마도 예대도 제코는 메시브라고 지로 지다이나.
So this is that if you look at here again when speaking about the sentient beings who is being blinded, lack of guides and guidance and so forth. And we're not actually speaking about the shortcoming of the sentient beings. We're not talking about the faults of the sentient beings.
다 든든은 예대 나를 통해다 야체를 소그레스 얘네한테 야체한테 말에 니지제사 이래리로 든든 것이 좁어지는 다 든든 지으로잖아 다 빼야 보러 세지어로 든든지 다 So
this is how we practice ourselves, look at other sentient beings, including ourselves, being a lack of guidance and unable to see the reality. So here now, it is really a fact that we all are undergoing the same situations. When in the particular text it may say that, the mother sentient beings, as if that we are pointing towards other beings, and as if that we are not including ourselves. But if you really practice and think carefully, we also belong to that category. We are not just other beings who are being that particular category, but we ourselves is included within this category. So it is really a worthwhile for us to be delighted with that, being able to understand what is to be abandoned and what is to be, what is to be achieved, what is to be accomplished. In other words, what is a positive that is to be abandoned, to achieve, and what is negative that is to be abandoned. So by having this discriminative awareness in us, it's a worthwhile to be delighted and to be rejoiced.
다 간제 든들랑 같이 만도나다 터민도 세지 통소나 다 telling 배전제네 다 신체제 잡마도 나라니 랑가 만나와지 뽑아체 그야지 디설해되어서다
So now just think about that. This is the time that I must find a true path, unmistaken path. Although at this point I may not be able to lead entire sentient beings on the unmistaken path, I will do my best from my side, at least, being on the right path, unmistaken path.
telesana jachamo ke tang mare soso yui jenwa chen da tende chi inda me sana tong ro.
So here now, when it comes to this question, now think about ourselves, whether I myself is dependently designated or dependently originated, or I myself is remaining under the power of causes and conditions.
다 주다 tende jenwa de ina 다 language ma pe ne thoye marda.
So if one concludes that oneself being remaining under the power of cause and dependent originations, then we really have a chance to find a method or skillful means to be on the right path.
lendre kesi shegmare, tseni kesi shegmare roa. Ju yishenwa tena, ju lenten drebe yungure, je zangen le drebe zangen, sirure. Teo shenla teni yungure na, tensa de yaboche miana yungumare.
So here now, not speaking about the karma and its effect, cause and effect, or the karma, but if you understand that you are, or the we ourselves, remaining under the power of causes and conditions, then one should understand that cause produces its effect. And whether it produces a positive effect or the negative effect, it depends upon what kind of cause that you have. The positive cause will produce a positive result, and negative cause will produce negative results. So therefore, what is important for us to be is to by understanding that it is important for me to be not to be controlled by the negative cause, but rather I'll do my best to let myself remaining under the control of positive cause.
Tanya ki menjer ma do jinde kelene jedoro. Kala sa senji jinde kelene kala sa go jogu moto bitanda kala sa go.
So here now, although we may not say that I believe in cause and effect, but then everything that we do is a function of cause and effect. Think about our daily activities of eating food. I'm eating food. That you are eating food. The very actions of eating food produces its result. What is the result? The main result of eating food is to overcome your hunger, isn't it? So therefore, cause and effect is always functioning that. Although that you may not say that I do not accept cause and effect, but cause and effect is always functioning.
Ini jujile tenen drebu yumba, rawa. Tindriji kange te jul zombo du ne thai do thunga yoba meba. Ti taji chana lama no jugure te rawa.
So this is how we can engage in the unmistaken path by analyzing the cause. What kind of cause that produces a positive result? What kind of cause that produces a negative result? By identifying positive and negative result, negative cause, one then try one's best to obtain a positive cause which enables one to being on the right path.
Jinsen japten chela iba ka du na. Ro tepe chenjong ki phenga mari. Jinsen jaten jada sanna shita tong da tang yore.
So all of this analysis or practices must be done or undertaken on the basis of applying sound reasonings, valid reasoning, not mere faith, not mere devotion or just belief alone, but this must be supported by the valid reasoning.
Yeah. Ta ma shi chenje chenso song la tene ni shambache na kande chegure se shambache wa ngona sing tele so.
So now we are on the particular chapter, the development of attitude being intent of others welfare, right? Others' welfare. How do we develop this attitude of being intent of others' welfare based on the cultivation of those about three, practices, such as practice of mashi, recognition of other sentient beings as one's mother, jinden, remembering the kindness of other beings, and repaying the kindness of other beings.
Ta tesong kande chene yongore se des. Jenda jachamo gangjo mogoro. Tesong le jinsen du du mi kambu song ta. Tesero no sana ton de jinsen du du kare na se de ro. Sana ton rara chi che. Ani tino ti jela ine yengo yi shamba lo te kande chegre se de yue che.
So how cultivation of this three will produce heartwarming love, in other words, the genuine love. And not only just you're reading through it and just believing it, but you also think about, you can think about the reasonings of by cultivating those three cultivations, practices, recognizing mother sentient beings, repaying their kindness and remembering their kindness, would produce heartwarming love.
다 배지 바 자존 다 자존의 배존 자타 뭐보는 상추기 생래 야와지 여 말에서는 반 리아지지 연어네 로아 반 연다 당하사기 상추 생세데 제는 누스적을 세데 가서 셰도로아.
So here, if you look at all those texts written by the great Indian masters as well the Tibetan masters, the practice of bodhicitta is emphasized in each and every text that written by those great beings of Indian masters and as well as Tibetan masters. They equally emphasize on the importance of generation of bodhicitta.
달라이 년조의 제조선의 이 깨라 전부의 강연의 자쇼 너무 상주세는 고주 세대 베데 나선도 마선도 라빠전의 취샤나 베데 로메댕이 지여로 주부담바서게 거진 나서 큰 마선은 칸의 루샤나 루투에진의 루샤에게 저게 저와게 당도에게 명가서 뭐지 될라줘요 말에.
All of those great beings have emphasized on importance of generating bodhicitta. Although it is important to practice deity yoga and the practice of two stages, such as generation stage and completion stage, but so long as the generation of bodhicitta is concerned, it is importantly emphasized, by all those great beings, because without it actually acts as a soul or the foundation upon which you can undertake the practice of others, such as deity yogas and two stages of tantric practices and so forth, without which it is not possible for us to actually, perfect our practice of deity yogas and so forth.
다시 나게면은 당가 속에 세들은 무슨 이제 정원으로 저랑이 대처럼 속에 라레 두셔도 질라라질레 제도 갈레 제손 야보 두세네 대가리 지송거다 당가서 대세 레한도 쇼네려면도.
So we are normally being careless because now His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has always, advise us to practice bodhicitta, the development of bodhicitta, because if you practice accordingly, you will able to realize bodhicitta. You are able to generate bodhicitta. So I myself, His Holiness always say that we are just quoting the direct quote. I myself have engaged in those practice for a long period of time. There is sudden change in me. So now he is just telling us, and advising us time and again to how important it is for us to engage in the practice of bodhicitta. But we are being a little bit careless and being not aware of, even though how much advice that he may have, is conveying to all of us, but we are remaining a little careless about it.
다 냐냐이 돈 세마로 유딘의 자제도나 세마 다 세마이 돈 접된 형이 된리 명아 비다지다 최바래 단 델하지 최의 산정거스 편나 소요 말에서 우리 된리질랑아 저기
So now
나네도
we are, very fortunate to be able to come across with the teachings, not only just a belief or just mere faith or devotion, but rather every practice that we may undertake must be done on the basis of reasoning, combination with faith and reasonings.
다 데리게 자위 지당가 마스 로에나 데리 나치네 라면도.
So Bodhichitta, he will stop here with this today. Not feeling very well.
당가서 되는다. 당가서 상주 예선을 뭐지 맞아봐 제는 고뇌 공배들 로네. 아니 타입이 선제던지 조비 상제지 고발라. 다 그것이 랑가 데리 그 가서 그는 된로고 버리러. 다 되는지 유튜브에 소소긴 공화체 아니 신로 나로지세네 아니 내내 주변 남만나 신로셔. 아니 공화도 몰라니가 자그래.
So let's do the dedications in combination of prayers as well. So here, we just do our dedication by dedicating all the teachings and the virtuous deed that we have done today is to generation of bodhicitta of oneself and all other beings, and who have not been generated. And if who have already been generated the bodhicitta, may their bodhicitta remain forever and even flourish furthermore. And so may all beings who be on the path to achievement of bodhicitta, and may all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 direction to bless us to be able to do this.
Dāgī chīnī sābī gyāvā dī, tētān chōvā kyūlā kāpī tān, chēpā jūsū lōsān chāpā yī, tēpī chīpō rīntū sēshī chō, gyē shūshī mē tō chāng, rē rō lī shī nyē tē chēpā dī, sāng jē shī tō mē tē bē wā yī, chō kē nā tō shī lā shī pā shō, kē tō yā tā lā mā tāng, rē mē chī chī bē lā lō shī chī, sā tā lā chī yā tē rā zō tē, tō chī chāng kē kō pō nyā tō shō, gu rū rā nā mē chē lā kā nā yā tā yā mē. Bē lē sō nī nē kā tā yā pā kā shē sā pā tē, mā rē kē tō chā wā nō, nā chē jā yē wā pō tā chū chī, tē mā sē bē sē rā kē tō yā, jā bē yā chū sē bē chī sō nē, tē bē chē pā kē sā lā chē chō, nye nē chō bē chē tā nye shē chō, rā kē chē chē tō bē lā chū nē, shō chā sē bē chā yē tā kē chē, rō yē yē chē mē pā sē chē nē, jā yē tē pā yē rē sē chō chē, tē pā rē chē chō kē mā chā pā, bā chē bē shō tē nē, nye chē chē mbē yē rā chē pā yē, pē tē 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 sē wā shē pā shō, sē chē jā yē mē chō chē lē lē, lē chō shā chō lā chē rē bē chāng, tā tē tā chē yē lā bē tē shē, jā yē sē pā rē tō chō chō chē, lā sā chō bē tē chē chō shē chē, gē chē sē chē mē tā mē bē kē, sē rā kē tō jā yē kā pā yē, nā tā lā tā chē wā mā chō chē, kā sē tē pā chō lā chē shē chē, zē pā tē yē cē, tō tē nā chē tā tō chō shē chē, chā shē jā cē shō kē chō chō chē, lā mē kō sē rā tē chē, nā kā chē lē shō chō chē pā tāng, lō sā tē bē chē mē sā sō chē, rō yē mē sē tā tō mē chō chē, rā yē kō yē shē kā sō, pē tāng tē wā mā lē chō yē nē, shē rē zē wā tē zē chā sō yē, shā bē sē tē pā tō tē chō chē, bā yē chē tā chē pā tāng, kē tō sā pō tē yā tē chē, tē tā kē chē chē sē nā lō shē, tē tā tāng chē rā tō kā, tē sō shē bē jā wā tāng chē chē, kā wā kā lā chō tō kā pā tē, dā chē kē yē tsā wā tē kē chā, sā pō shē shē rā tō kā wā tē.